Hey guys, this is Apex of War. Finally got patch 1.3 downloaded and installed for the Witcher 3. And great news is nothing has really changed with my build. So this is my melee build here. It's all exactly the same. Luckily there isn't any nerfs or buffs to really any abilities. It was really just a bunch of fixes. It was a lot of fixes apparently with 3.9 gigabyte download, but it is what it is. Didn't really change the builds at all. So I still got 42 points in the combat tree, 33 in the alchemy, and 3 in the general tree. So that puts you at a grand total of 78 ability points, and then 5 ability points to unlock Euphoria if you haven't already, 2 to unlock Toxic Blood here to get to Euphoria, and then 3 for Euphoria itself. Now going through the different ability slots here, nothing has changed. The left side here, the upper left, I've got all the fast attack abilities. The upper right side, I've got all the, or most of the strong attack abilities. And of course, both having fast and strong attacks. It's really nice having that versatility, being able to pick and choose what attacks you want in any given situation. On the bottom left here, the rest of the combat abilities: Sunder Armor, Deadly Precision, and Razor Focus. Metabolic Control, that allows me to boost my toxicity even more for the Euphoria buff, or the Euphoria mutation, the buff from Euphoria. Rage Management, that allows me to use my adrenaline points for casting signs to keep my shield up so I can keep my stamina used to whirl and rend. And of course, cat school techniques, kind of standard with this type of build. Acquired Tolerance, that's so that I can buff myself even more with Euphoria. You really need Acquired Tolerance if you're going to be running Euphoria. Heightened Tolerance, that's so that you don't take any toxicity damage when you're running a really high toxicity level. For those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, as you see here, I'm almost at max toxicity, not taking any damage. I get a lot of questions about this ability. Now, what this ability does is it increases my mutagen bonus by 50%. I'm still using regular greater red mutagens, but I'm getting the 60% attack power bonus. That's because of synergy here. It increases my bonus by 50%, so instead of 40, I'm seeing 60% attack power with the same mutagens. And then Killing Spree, that increases my crit chance for every kill. I mean, you can really only cap out at 100, but hey, the quicker the better to get there, so. Now briefly going over my equipment here, using the Toussaint Steel Sword, really enjoy that, and the Erendite. This is the best silver sword in the game. If you can get your hands on it, definitely do it. Now I'm using the Feline Armor here, Grandmaster Legendary here, and if you want to use the Manticore Armor, that's another great option for this build. I'll explain that here in a few minutes. But here I'm using the Feline Armor. I've got Deflection enchantment on my chest, and using the Greater Glyph of Ken, because you don't really use any other sign with this build, so might as well put the Ken sign intensity glyphs in there. Now I've got all my alchemy recipes unlocked, so my max toxicity with this build is 292. Before the patch it was at 300. I don't really know where I lost that 8, but the build runs just as fine at 292. Now where you might get into trouble with that is if you don't have all your recipes unlocked, and you might not be able to run 4 decoctions if you don't have all your recipes unlocked. So you might get screwed because of the patch in that way. You can still run 3 decoctions and it performs just as well. Now the decoctions I'm using, the Water Hag decoction and Ekimmara decoction, those both play really well together. You get healed from the Ekimmara decoction, and the Water Hag decoction boosts your damage output when you're at full health. The Algol decoction here gets me additional adrenaline point generation. It's really nice to have. If you're keeping your shield up, you shouldn't be getting hit, so you should be able to maintain that extra adrenaline point gain. And I'm also using the 4-kill decoction, and that boosts my sign intensity for keeping my shield up, and then my shield popping that keeps my attack power up. Now with the Manticore Armor that I was explaining to you guys before, what's really good about it is that it adds 30 additional maximum toxicity to your toxicity level. So that does allow you to use 4 decoctions and run potions on top of that. The one thing that you've got to make sure about with it though is that you've got to have the levity enchantment on your chest piece. Now here I was using the Manticore set for a hybrid build, so I hadn't changed everything over or anything like that. But you'd want to use the greater glyph of Ken's, and you'd want to use the levity enchantment on your chest piece, and that would get you also awesome DPS, get you some extra maximum toxicity to be able to pop potions with the build and run 4 decoctions at the same time. So this is definitely a great alternative to using the Feline Armor if you want to go ahead and use the Manticore set. Here's a little demo of the build post patch 1.3 and just showing you that it's just as effective as it was before the patch. Now one thing I do want to cover that I've got a lot of questions on, for those of you who don't know, is how do I chain Ren so fast, like right here. And the way that I do this is that I hold the strong attack button just long enough to rend, and I immediately let go of it and then briefly hold it again. Let go, briefly hold it, and you repeat that, and that allows you to chain Rens. Now you're not winding up Ren by any means, it's just pretty much the lightest Ren you can do, but you can keep enemies staggered when you chain Ren. It's a very effective strategy, and I definitely suggest using it if you guys don't already. I'm going to find some other guys here to beat up. And this place looks pretty good. And the last thing I want to cover here, you might see the swords glowing yellow, and some of you might ask, hey, why is it glowing yellow? The reason why is the invigoration enchantment I have on the sword, that converts any extra health gain that I get above 100% health into damage on my next hit. So with the Ekimmara decoction, when I'm gaining health and I get above max health, that gets converted into damage with the invigoration enchantment. That's why the sword's glowing yellow. Getting my shield ready for battle here. You see here at the beginning I chained some Rens as well, like as I did before. And there's that versatility, being able to use both strong and fast attacks in this build. Rage management to keep my shield up when my stamina is down. You see all those crits that I'm getting? That's because of killing spree. For every guy that I killed, I got 50% crit chance. As you see, it shows 315, but really you can only have 100% crit. So even though my DPS is showing almost 23,000, it's probably closer to 15,000. Hit the like and subscribe buttons below. I'll be bringing some more Witcher 3 stuff coming up here with the new patch. I know I've been kind of slow on it lately, but you know, with this new patch there's some more stuff to show you guys, some of the fixes and so on and so forth. So I appreciate you guys watching, and stay tuned.